less than an hour away from the kickoff of Berwick Bulldogs football on Pop Radio. Streaming online at thisispopradio.com. Brought to you by
Overhead Door of Berwick, Berwick Notary, State Farm Insurance, Sean Black and Lori Powell, First Keystone Community Bank, The Willows Golf Course, Journey Bank, Flick Brothers Electric in Bloomsburg, Blaze Alexander Family Buick GMC of Bloomsburg, Berwick Dental Arts, WNL Subaru Nissan and Mazda, Reds Roofing, Preferred Portables, Nespoli Jewelers, Neighborhood Fence, Ken Pollock Ford, Mayo Funeral Home, ND Accounting and Consulting, Anna Mason's Monogram Service.
It's time for the CJ Curry Show on Pop Radio. Here with the first-year head coach of the Berwick Bulldogs is Jim Doyle.
Well, after getting their first win of the season last Friday at Crispin Field, the Bulldogs face a real challenge on the road tonight, going against a 4-1 Wyoming area team here in West Pittston. The Dogs' first win, a convincing 48-6 rout of Hanover area. CJ, before we talk about your players that made it happen, let's talk about you. Now, hopefully you're going to have a long and successful career at Berwick. As the head coach, you're going to rack up a lot of wins, but there can only be one first career win. That came last Friday at Crispin Field. How did it feel?
It felt great. It felt great to finally get that monkey off our back. We thought we probably could have had one week 1 against Lehman. We thought we probably could have had one week 4 against Hazelton. And so it was nice, because we knew that we were banged up, but everybody was bought in. It was kind of a next man up mentality. So it just felt good to watch those guys be successful out there. We went out, we did what we said we were going to do. And so it was nice to not have to worry for 4 quarters finally. So we were able to get some young guys in and try some stuff. And some guys made plays that haven't made them so far this season. So to see their confidence, it was great.
Well, you mentioned banged up. It was impressive to win that handily because you were playing without Caleb Bay, Gavin Galusha, Matt Gordner, Julian Howie, Jake Lisnock. Those are not insignificant players. Those are important players to your team.
Yeah, no doubt. And those are guys that we were really counting on to be here all season, to be major contributors for us. And it's not their fault that they're out. It's serious injuries. It's not like we think that they're being soft or they're just banged up, so they're taking themselves out. Like, they're legitimate. Breaks and concussions and some stuff with the MCL with Matt. But to see guys and to see those guys still there helping their teammates in a leadership perspective and to rally their teammates, they were super helpful on the sidelines, just to have them there. But, the guys that stepped up, it was awesome, to see Tymir Wilkerson step up and to see Brock Sims, a sophomore, step up, and Billy to kind of take control at quarterback, especially in the first half. So, those guys to do that, Nico Lonzinski stepping in on the offensive line, guys in the secondary, Sean Bankus and Braden Schaefer playing the entire game and not letting up many catches until really that last drive in the fourth quarter when our junior varsity guys were in. So everybody stepped up, and it was great to see.
473 total rushing yards. You mentioned Ty Wilkerson. He showed off that track speed of his. 7 carries, 165 yards, and 3 touchdowns. Not a surprise. I'm just waiting for that breakout. But how about Sims? 14 carries, 109 yards, 1 touchdown. Tell us about Brock Sims.
Hey, Brock Sims has been just an unbelievable guy here in our locker room and in the weight room. He hasn't missed a day since last January. And Brock, he really has paid his dues. And, he's a great scout team player for us. He plays every Monday night in JV. So, he played last Monday against Hazelton in junior varsity. And, we got beat up by Hazelton's JV team. And then he comes right out to practice the next day and starts starting reps with our offense. And he played some linebacker, and so Brock has consistently been getting better. He knows every position. We can put him at fullback, we can put him at running back. You ask him about routes, and he knows every single route combination for wide receivers. I think he even knows quarterback reads. So he's just one of those guys that he's so impressive with his knowledge and his work ethic, and he's got a bright future as a Bulldog.
Yeah, well, he and Gavin Galusha, your leading rusher of the season, who unfortunately is out with an injury. Even Connor Roberts coming on in some attempts. The running back position looks good.
Running back position definitely looks good. We were just trying to find ways all season to get Tymir the ball. And obviously our passing game has struggled a little bit. So, we wanted to have Ty in that slot position and be able to utilize him in jet sweeps and get him the ball quickly throwing the football. But, this week we needed him at running back. And so, Ty stepped up to that challenge. And, we didn't really think of Ty as being an inside the tackles type of runner. We wanted to see him him on the edges. But, 3 of those touchdowns, all 3 of them were for ISOs to the house. And so it was pretty nice to see him being able to run between those tackles, and he got a lot of confidence from that too.
Well, up next, we'll ask CJ to evaluate his team's defensive effort against Hanover area. You're listening to the CJ Curry Show here on Pop Radio.
Escape the ordinary this fall. Navigate the unpaved roads in a Mazda CX-50 with as low rates or up to $1,000 customer cash. Find your Mazda at W&L off Route 11 in Northumberland.
The Roofing Ninjas of Berwick. The roofing experts for all of our listening area. With over 30 years experience and great rates, why go anywhere else when Red's Roofing will get the job done right for your roofing, decks, and siding, specializing in metal roofs, rubber roofs, and shingles. Most of the work is done in one day. Red's Roofing, the Roofing Ninjas. Now located in Dushore and also serving
concerts, church festivals, even construction sites. Preferred Portables has you covered. Preferred Portables offers a luxury restroom trailer that even has hot water. No power? No problem. They can provide a generator to keep the lights on. They even provide sanitary service.
Nespoli Jewelers, a family tradition started by Joseph Nespoli and or simply help you find an affordable gift. Service, quality, creativity. Nespoli Jewelers. Yesterday's principles, today's creations. East Front Street in Berwick and online at nespolijewelers.com.
When you've been sidelined by an injury, all you want is to get back in the game. Getting to the finish line starts with Lehigh Valley Orthopedic Institute, the region's leader in sports medicine. We use the most advanced technology for faster, better results, so elite and everyday athletes can compete like champions once again. Call 833-LV-ORTHO. Lehigh Valley Orthopedic Institute. Your health deserves a partner.
Ready to get away? Pop Radio and Busch Light could be sending you to the Badlands. That's right, we're talking round-trip flights, a rental car, 6 days and 7 nights in the Badlands, $1,000 spending cash, and more. All thanks to Miller Travel Agency in Middleburg. Listen at 8, 11, and 3 each weekday for your keyword to text to 71231 for your chance to get qualified. Get complete contest rules at thisispopradio.com. Head to the Badlands with Busch Light and Pop Radio. Must be 21 or older. You're listening to the CJ Curry Show on Pop Radio. Here with the first-year head coach of the Berwick Bulldogs is Jim Doyle.
Jake Sobieski Stadium in West Pittston is the venue for tonight's game as the Bulldogs take on the Warriors of Wyoming area, a traditionally strong program that won a state championship as recently as 2019. Bulldogs hoping for a defensive effort like the one they got last Friday against Hanover area when they held the Hawkeyes to just 52 yards rushing and had them shut out until there was just 3:39 to play. CJ, I guess when you talk defensively at the high school level, if you stop the run and put a lot of pressure on the passer, that's a great formula for success. Your team did both.
Absolutely. They certainly did. And, our guys took a lot of pride in that, especially considering we had Billy Hansen not able to play at corner and Caleb May. So 2 of our best cover guys that were out. And we knew that, with a freshman quarterback, he had some weapons, in Otway, Kellum, and Eisenbach out there for Hanover. And so we knew that we had to generate some pressure and make it tough on this freshman quarterback. And, our guys delivered. We were showing them different looks and different blitzes. We were able to get pressure. And I think Ty Meir played lights out. Trying to shadow number one all game, and he held him to only a few catches. And so, that was very promising to see that from those guys. And so, we know that it's just going to keep getting tougher because now, you have that success, but now you go to Wyoming area and they have a 3-year starting quarterback, a veteran offensive line, a great running back, and 2 sophomore wide receivers who could really get it done. Gravine and number 8, Kopechny, unbelievable wide receivers, and they have a high-powered run offense. And so we have our work cut out for us, and it's a great challenge for us this week.
Actually, you look back, your defense has played pretty well all season long.
Absolutely, yeah. You look at our defense, and they've been answering the call every single week, and they're keeping us in the game, especially as our offense has gone through their struggles to start. But finally, it was nice to see the offense put some points up on the board this past week. Our defense did their jobs again, and so as those guys continue to build confidence and together, as they continue to fight on that field together, as we go into the second half of the season, it certainly doesn't get any easier, looking at the road ahead. And so it's a big challenge this week, but those guys are up for the challenge.
Well, you'll be glad to know that your special teams set a national record on Friday. No team has ever used 4 kickers in the first half of a game. You did. Caleb Yost, Logan Robinson, Luke Kiefer, Tanner Kiefer. Besides wanting to set the national record, what was your rationale?
Those guys are all great kids. They really are. And Luke, Logan, and Tanner, they all play soccer, but, they come down here to football, and they've been here consistently since the summer. None of them have ever kicked in a high school game before, and so knowing that they all have great leg talent and great leg power, we wanted to all get those guys an opportunity to be on the field, and so there was no better way to do it. Caleb Yost is our guy, our freshman. He's done very well. He's been successful. It wasn't like he was getting pulled or anything like that, but it was just nice to get those guys an opportunity, and they all delivered. For the most part, I know Tanner's went off the upright, but it was a strong looking kick, and one of them was a fumbled snap that Chase Shuckers got a 2-point play on, which was awesome to see that catch for Chase, even though it didn't count, which I don't agree with that rule either, but that's a discussion for another day. But it was nice to see those guys all have an opportunity to get on the field and be successful.
Well, the Dogs are on the road tonight to take on Wyoming area. Later in the show, CJ will give us his scouting report on the Warriors, but up next, it's the Bulldog Spotlight feature. You're listening to the CJ Curry Show here on Pop Radio.
Reds Roofing, the roofing ninjas of Berwick. The roofing experts for all of our listening area. With over 30 years experience and great rates, why go anywhere else when Reds Roofing will get the job done right for your roofing, decks, and siding, specializing in metal roofs, rubber roofs, and shingles. Most of the work is done in one day. Reds Roofing, the roofing ninjas. Now located in Dushore and also serving Bradford and Sullivan counties with owner Harry Titus, a supporter of the Berwick football team and St. Jude Children's Hospital. Call 570-752-4351.
Mason's Monogramming has the largest selection of Bulldog items in Berwick. Family owned with more than 35 years experience. And new Bulldog wear for every age, including t-shirts, sweatshirts, jackets, polos, hats, and more. They even make online fundraising easy for you. Stop in today to discuss your next fundraising opportunity. You can also shop at masonsmonogramming.com for their new inventory and select in-person pickup or shipping right to you. Follow their Instagram at Mason's Monogramming for their latest new items. Mason's Monogram Service in Berwick. Let them personalize for you.
Hey, hometown fans. You know Journey Bank as your trusted local bank. But did you know we're also the biggest cheerleader for our community's youth? From athletes competing under the Friday night lights, to students excelling in the classroom, to talented teen stars singing center stage, we're investing in the future of our young people. At Journey Bank, we're committed to helping our kids score big in every aspect of life. Journey Bank, where dreams are nurtured and futures are built. Journey Bank, proud supporter of our local youth.
Experience the difference at Blaze Alexander Family Dealership. For over 40 years, Blaze Alexander has been Central PA's top choice for unbeatable prices. With 20 locations and 11 brands, we have what you want at a price you deserve. Over 4,000 new and pre-owned vehicles available. Why go anywhere else? Stop and shop or check us out online at blazealexander.com. Sales, service, parts, collision.
You're listening to the CJ Curry Show on Pop Radio. Here with the first-year head coach of the Berwick Bulldogs is Jim Doyle.
Tonight marks the 28th meeting between Berwick and Wyoming area, but the first since 2017. In our next segment, CJ will tell us about the Warriors, who are 4-1. But now it's time for our weekly feature, Bulldog Spotlight. Tonight, the spotlight is on junior Caleb May, who unfortunately is out with an injury, but hoping to be back in that Bulldog lineup very, very soon. CJ, from the cornerback position, Caleb has gone against some really outstanding wide receivers like Chris Schultes of Lake Lehman and Johansson Moran of Hazleton area. And he's more than held his own. He's only 5'9", and he's given up a lot of size to the receivers I just mentioned. How does he do it?
He plays like he's 6'2". He really does. And, Caleb is one of those other guys that he was in here since January, and he's gotten bigger, faster, stronger. He's another track star. He was part of the 4x1 gold medal team. You can just see the change in his body, and Caleb knows football. You ask him questions, and when you're watching film, and you just ask him little things, and his football IQ is so high, he just knows how to be in the right position. He's super physical as a corner, although he is only 5'9", but he makes sure that when guys get their hands on the ball, he attacks the hands. He doesn't have an interception, but there's a lot of pass breakups that he's responsible for, and teams don't throw at him. And you look at him, you might think that you have an advantage because of his size, but Caleb does such a great job, and he's really a true leader of our secondary, and it hurts not having him because of how great that he is on that side of the ball.
Sometimes track speed, which he has, doesn't translate to the football field. His does.
It certainly does. It certainly does. And I think there was no better way to see that than against Hazleton. He comes off the edge on a corner blitz. He tracks the quarterback who's rolling the opposite way, gets a strip sack showing that he's super physical, and we get the ball back in a huge momentum play. And so those are just kind of the things that Caleb gives us defensively, and we can't wait to have him back with us.
You have a lot of playmakers, so he hasn't seen a lot of action on offense, but he could help there too as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And Caleb, once again, he knows the offense. He's played slot for us a little bit this year, and he's gotten some reps at running back. He had a great carry against Lake Lehman on a third down play that he made about 5 guys miss and ended up getting a first down. He had a nice carry against Lackawanna Trails. So it's just finding that ability to get him and work him in and get him a couple more touches because he's elusive and he's speedy and he can make things happen on offense.
In the Bulldog Spotlight, junior Caleb May. Tonight, Caleb and his Bulldog teammates take on the Warriors of Wyoming area. Up next, CJ will evaluate the Warriors' high-scoring offense. You're listening to the CJ Curry Show here on Pop Radio.
Jim Doyle and the Berwick Bulldogs head coach CJ Curry. Brought to you by
Overhead Door of Berwick, Berwick Notary, State Farm Insurance, Sean Black and Lori Powell, First Keystone Community Bank, the Willows Golf Course, Journey Bank, Flick Brothers Electric in Bloomsburg, Blaze Alexander Family Buick GMC of Bloomsburg, Berwick Dental Arts, WNL Subaru, Nissan and Mazda, Reds Roofing, Preferred Portables, Nespoli Jewelers, Neighborhood Fence, Ken Pollock Ford, Mayo Funeral Home, ND Accounting and Consulting, and Mason's Monogram Service.
You'll only find the CJ Curry Show on Pop Radio and streaming online at thisispopradio.com.
Reds Roofing, the roofing ninjas of Berwick. The roofing experts for all of our listening area. With over 30 years experience and great rates, why go anywhere else when Reds Roofing will get the job done right for your roofing, decks, and siding. Specializing in metal roofs, rubber roofs, and shingles. Most of the work is done in one day. Reds Roofing, the roofing ninjas. Now located in Dushore and also serving Bradford and Sullivan counties with owner Harry Titus, a supporter of the Berwick football team and St. Jude Children's Hospital. Call 570-752-4351.
Planning your next big event? Weddings, concerts, church festivals, even construction sites. Preferred Portables has you covered. Preferred Portables offers a luxury restroom trailer that even has hot water. No power? No problem. They can provide a generator to keep the lights on. They even provide sanitary service to campgrounds, parks, parties, and have 24-hour emergency service. Contact Preferred Portables to learn about event and contractor pricing. Check out their website, preferredportables.com. We're number one when you have to go number two.
Family tradition is the foundation of Nespoli Jewelers, a family tradition started by Joseph Nespoli and continued by his grandson Jonathan. For 3 generations, Nespoli Jewelers have prided themselves on mixing fine with fashion. Jonathan can customize your engagement ring and wedding bands, design a unique piece of jewelry inspired by you, or simply help you find an affordable gift. Service, quality, creativity. Nespoli Jewelers. Yesterday's principles, today's creations. East Front Street in Berwick and online at nespolijewelers.com.
The Mayo Funeral Homes, located at 110 Chestnut Street in Berwick and 77 Main Street in Chickashinny, are proud sponsors of Berwick Bulldog football. The Mayo Funeral Homes, serving all faiths, makes it easier for those you love with pre-arranged funeral counseling, insurance, and pre-financed funerals. Mayo Funeral Homes also offers expert guidance in both traditional and cremation services. Mayo Funeral Homes, perfection in every detail.
You're listening to the CJ Curry Show on Pop Radio. Here with the first-year head coach of the Berwick Bulldogs is Jim Doyle.
Tonight, here at Jake Sobieski Stadium in West Pittston, Berwick takes on Wyoming area. The Bulldogs' defense will be challenged by the most prolific offense they've faced to date. The Warriors, who have a 4-1 record, are averaging 42 points a game. CJ, before we talk about Wyoming area's personnel, and it's considerable, let's talk about their style of offense. How do they line up, or what do they run?
Yeah, there are a lot of pro, slot. They do a lot of things with a tight end and a fullback and a running back, and they don't do a lot, but they're very, very good at what they do. They're a super disciplined team. I know Coach Spencer has those guys ready to roll. They're disciplined. They don't make mistakes. They're not going to beat themselves, and so we're going to see a ton of ISO, kick out, toss, power. We're going to see waggle off of those actions, and when they have a chance, they're going to throw some two-man concepts to Kopechne, and the kids made some unbelievable plays here. Just watching last week against Tunkhannock, he made a 35 yards down the field, a one-handed catch in the end zone for a touchdown, and so they have playmakers all over the place. But we know that they're just going to try to pound the football on us. They showed against Dallas. I mean, they scored 49 points. They ran ISO 9 times. They ran kick out 9 times, and they ran toss 6 times. And so it's one of those things that, they don't do a ton, but they do what they do very, very well.
Well, one of the things they do very well is hand the ball off to Lodge Kellum. Their strength of their offense is obviously their rushing attack, and Kellum has 811 rushing yards already. We're just halfway through the regular season. Describe him.
Yeah, Kellum's a stud. He has a great burst through the hole. It's not easy to take him down when he gets to the second level. He's got a great one cut. He's got a great stiff arm. He runs hard, and it's nice when you got an offensive line led by Chase DeSanto back there. Chase DeSanto is a stud, but also Paul Panic and Steinberger, Getzy. They're all very, very good players. And Kevin Weidel, the tight end, he makes it happen. He's able to secure the edge. Their fullback is Crane. He comes downhill. He gets great kickouts. So to run behind those guys is special, but he makes it happen, no doubt. So it's not a surprise that he has over 800 yards already. And they run very hard. So being able to kind of stop them at the line of scrimmage, a similar attack from what we wanted to do against a mid-valley type of team with Jacob Lesher, is kind of our approach here. We know that if we can stop number 2 and make them throw the football, we have a chance in this game.
Well, Anthony DeLuca returns this season as their starting quarterback. He throws about 13 passes a game. A majority go to the player you mentioned earlier, Luke Kopechne, who's 24 receptions. He averages 20 yards a catch. Is that because the running game is so effective that you get lost?
I certainly believe so. I believe that they can lull you to sleep with that. And once again, DeLuca is a 3-year starter, so he's not going to make bad plays and bad decisions. So, he's the commander-in-chief of that offense. He makes things happen on that offense. He leads that team very well. And when he has an opportunity, he's going to throw accurate footballs, and he likes to find number 8. He's 6'2". He's got great range. He runs great routes. And when you throw up a 50-50 ball to him, the chances are really like 80-20 in his favor. And so, just watching him on film, he's very impressive. The routes are not anything crazy, but they'll throw a vertical to him and he'll catch it. They'll run some stick routes, get into the chains for first downs, and he's always very, very accurate with it. Gets the ball out on time. He's accurate with the football, and so those two are a good 1-2 punch.
We talked about Caleb Bay earlier, and if he were healthy and in uniform for this game, Kopechne would probably be his assignment. So who gets it now?
Yeah, it's going to kind of just be a by committee approach. We're not going to. I don't think we're going to really game plan to number 8. I think that we have to stop the run first, and we're going to trust our guys to cover. I think Alex Estrella did a great job at free safety last week. I think Tymir Wilkerson did an unbelievable job in his first game playing corner last week. And so, with those two and Braden Schaefer and Sean Bankus helping out, I think that we're gonna live with trying to stop that run. And if they beat us throwing the ball for 300 yards, something that they haven't done yet, then I think that we're going to live with that. But, we anticipate our guys playing hard and being able to cover as well.
42 points a game. That's scary. They've played a good schedule, so this will be one of the biggest, if not the biggest challenge your defense has faced.
It certainly will be. And I think that the great part about this is that these type of games are the reason why we play. Regardless of what our record is and theirs, this is for a WVC championship, essentially. Because, we dropped one to Lake Lehman, but, we have Hanover, or we beat them this past week. And so if we can find a way to win this football game, and anything can happen in a championship game type atmosphere, we're right back in the running to get our first WVC championship since 2017. So our guys are fired up about that opportunity. We know it's going to be a great challenge, but, we love the games that are challenging against quality opponents, and we're looking forward to it tonight.
Up next, CJ will evaluate Wyoming area's defense. You're listening to the CJ Curry Show here on Pop Radio.
Planning your next big event? Weddings, concerts, church festivals, even construction sites. Preferred Portables has you covered. Preferred Portables offers a luxury restroom trailer that even has hot water. No power? No problem. They can provide a generator to keep the lights on. They even provide sanitary service to campgrounds, parks, parties, and have 24-hour emergency service. Contact Preferred Portables to learn about event and contractor pricing. Check out their website, preferredportables.com. We're number one when you have to go number two.
Experience the difference at Blaze Alexander Family Dealership. For over 40 years, Blaze Alexander has been Central PA's top choice for unbeatable prices. With 20 locations and 11 brands, we have what you want at a price you deserve. Over 4,000 new and pre-owned vehicles available. Why go anywhere else? Stop and shop or check us out online at blazealexander.com. Sales, service, parts, collision.
We're here at Ken Pollock in Berwick, and Ken is here with us. And Ken, you've been here for the last 10 years or so. Has Berwick welcomed you?
Absolutely. I think we align perfectly as a group with the Berwick community. We're community-driven. We love servicing the people down here. We have great deals every day, whatever stage in life you might be at, looking for a car for your kid, family, whatever it might be. We have a huge selection here, and whatever you have, bring it down, and we'll service it for you as well. Our people are very eager and very knowledgeable about the product that we do have, so we really want to help you out and make you a part of the Ken Pollock family.
Hey, hometown fans. You know Journey Bank as your trusted local bank, but did you know we're also the biggest cheerleader for our community's youth? From athletes competing under the Friday night lights, to students excelling in the classroom, to talented teen stars singing center stage, we're investing in the future of our young people. At Journey Bank, we're committed to helping our kids score big in every aspect of life. Journey Bank, where dreams are nurtured and futures are built. Journey Bank, proud supporter of our local youth.
You're listening to the CJ Curry Show on Pop Radio. Here with the first-year head coach of the Berwick Bulldogs is Jim Doyle.
For just the second time this season, the Bulldogs are playing on natural grass. That's the playing surface here at Jake Sobieski Stadium in West Pittston, home to the Warriors of Wyoming area. CJ, let's talk defense. Wyoming area coach Randy Spencer lists his team's base defense as 5-2. Will they stay in that?
I believe so. We saw them against Dallas, who was a pretty spread team, and they stayed in that 5-2 the whole time. So they're going to give us that 7-man box, and they've got some horses on that defensive line, starting with Reynolds at nose guard, and then Steinberger and Alberza, number 75. And DeSanto plays in there as well. Two great defensive ends in Weidel and Josh Maruk. And, Josh just came back this past week, but at 6'2", 225, he's a stud playing defensive end. Both of their linebackers are back, and so they're going to make it tough to run, but, we know that it's nice to finally not be seeing something that's a 4-4. We ran against a 4-4 or a 3-5 with some outside backers trying to set that edge for the first 5 weeks of the season. And so we're going to see a little bit something different this week. I think it'll be kind of refreshing for our offensive line, to have a new challenge to try to block. And I think that there's some things that, hopefully we can take advantage of with this defense. But these guys play hard. They really do. I mean, and when they blitz, they blitz those gaps hard, and they keep the outside contained very well. And so we know it's going to be a war in the trenches for 48 minutes with these guys. But I think that the team that makes the least amount of mistakes, no penalties, and takes care of the football is going to come out on top in this one.
Well, it's probably not realistic to think that your defense is going to shut down Wyoming area's offense. They average 42 points a game. They've scored 49 or more in 3 of their games. So if your team is going to be in this game, your offense will need to score some points. What are the keys to doing that?
Yeah, for sure. And I think it's not shooting ourselves in the foot. And even though we scored 48 points against Hanover last week, you watch and we had some big gains called back from holding penalties, and we were jumping off sides again, and we were putting ourselves in a position with penalties to bring ourselves behind the sticks. And when we have a high-powered running team like I believe that we do, with Billy still trying to find his way at quarterback a little bit to try to give him easy reads, but he still needs to work on some of those things passing the ball, we can't be getting behind the chains. And so I think that sometimes in a game like this, the ball has to bounce your way a few times, especially in a rivalry and a championship-like atmosphere. But I think that the team that takes care of the football. You know, we cannot have any turnovers. We have to limit our mental mistakes and our penalties, and you know, we have to create a takeaway or two from these guys in order to be successful and to have a chance in this game.
Last week, your team scored 48 points without completing a single pass. You only had a couple of attempts. You're going to have to throw some in this game?
I believe so, yeah. You know, we talked about hopefully being able to throw the ball kind of how Wyoming area does. I mean, probably 8 to 15 times, and I think that Billy can be successful with that, and it's just putting him in a position to be successful in throwing the ball. You know, we don't need him to drop back and be reading safeties and to throw the ball 25 yards downfield to get his completions. But you know, we have to mix nicely off of our runs and use play action and get him some easy completions so that you know, we're not one-dimensional in our run game, and they can't just keep 7 or 8 in the box and send the house on us. And so you know, we have to that's part of our game plan for tonight that we're going to use, and we're going to try to get Billy on the run a little bit and let him get some easy completions as well.
Randy Spencer seems excited about this series getting back together. You sound the same way.
Absolutely. You know, Coach Spencer's been great to me ever since I got this job. I'm super appreciative of him and his support, and I know that, you know, our guys that have a ton of respect for his program and his football team, and so it'll be fun to go back up there. You know, and I haven't been up there since I was a junior high coach, and it's always a great atmosphere regardless. And so you're just thinking back to some of the great games that we've played back in the day, including some of the district championships when my grandfather was coaching here, and to watch them, they always play tough, and so it certainly will be fun to rekindle this.
Thanks again for your time and best of luck.
Thank you very much, Jim.
Listen for another CJ Curry Show prior to next Friday's game against Nanticoke at Crispin Field.